Okay, so if I want to do a find and recode within my Xero file, I will go to accounting. That's the tab I'm going to click on. And then under accounting tools, I'm going to choose find and recode. So when we get to the screen, we now have to tell Xero what is it that we want to find and recode. So the first step is we click on find and recode. And we then have to add specific conditions, right? So what are the conditions? So the conditions is what you are telling Xero to look for. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that and I'm going to tell Xero that my first condition is an account. So what account am I looking for? So I want to look for all transactions or for a specific transaction within consulting fees. So if I just click on it, it brings up my chart of accounts. So I can just click on consulting and accounting. And then I need to add further conditions. So what is it that you want Xero to look for? So I'm going to add my next condition is I'm going to add my date range. And the reason I'm going to put a date range is that I do not want to, in error, find and recode a transaction from a previous financial year. So I've changed my date range to the 1st of January to the 5th of November because my financial year end is the 31st of December. So I could actually stop here if I want. But if I want to add in a further condition, so if I stopped here, what this will do is that it will bring up the entire consulting ledger for the period 1st of January to the 5th of November, and you could then recode your transactions. But I want to go a step further. I want to add a further condition of maybe looking for a specific supplier. In my case, so I'm going to be using by contact. So I now need to tell Xero, okay, what is the contact that I'm looking for? And in my case, I'm going to be looking for Xero itself, right? So I just typed Xero because that is a supplier. Now, this is what I want to look at, right? So I'm going to go click on search. And it now brings up my ledger transactions. So in this demo file, these are all of the transactions that have been processed to consulting and accounting between the period January 2025 and November 2025 for where the contact column or narration is 0. So what do I want to recode? So I want to change maybe the account that this has gone to. So I don't want it to go to consulting and accounting because this is a subscription. I want to take it to subscriptions. So because I've got just three blocks or three transactions on this page, I can literally click on the first block and it will highlight all of the transactions. I now need to tell Xero what is it that I want to recode. So if you look here, there's a recode button. So I click on recode and it says recode source transactions or recode with a manual journal. So what this means is that do I want you to go to the original transaction, edit it, or do I want to do a journal? So we would recommend recode source transactions. And now we are telling Xero, okay, what is it that we want to recode? So it defaults to just these three categories, but you can add additional ones. So for now, do I want to change my contact? So I don't want to change the contact. I still want Xero to be the contact. Do I want to change the account? So in my case, yes, I want to recode this to subscriptions. So I typed SUB in and I'm going to click on subscriptions. I don't want to do anything with the tax rate and I don't want to do any other amendments. So I'm now going to click on review. So then it tells you whether you want to confirm this because once you have done the recode, it's done in Xero. So we're now going to click on confirm. And the longer the larger the amount of transactions that you're recoding, the longer it will take. So if we now go so I'm just going to show you, if I had to go into my consulting fees, so I've got here, just going to go deselect consulting, and I want to add subscriptions, right? So I've got those two accounts. So now you will see I actually have no transactions in the consulting fee, and those three transactions that was there have now moved to your subscriptions account. If we go back to the find and recode sheet, you can always look at your recode history. So when we go in, if we click on recode history, it will tell you that this is the who's done them, and then there's a summary that you can click on. Okay, and that's basically how you can do a find and recode.